In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use text in an interesting way in WeVideo. So I have a project open and the video editor is showing, but there's no media that's been added to the timeline yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to where it says backgrounds and click there. And you can see that there are two kinds of backgrounds that are listed, animated and solid. And as you might expect from the names, the animated ones are moving and the solid ones are just solid colors. And you'll also notice that over here it says See All, and if I click on See All for solids, you can see that there are different colors that are available as solid color backgrounds. And if I click on the animated See All option, you'll see that there are a number of different animated backgrounds that I can select from. So I'm going to just select this first one, and I'm going to pull it down to the text track. And because I want to add text on top of this background, I'm going to click on the plus track option and add a new text track. And you can see that it's called Video 1. I could change that. I could call it Text 2 if I want to. Or I could just leave it as Video 1. It doesn't matter. But in any case, I'm going to click on Text next, and I'm going to click on this first title option. And I'm going to drag that down into the second text track. And you can see that now sample shows up here. So if I double click on this, you'll see that I have the option to change that text. And I'm going to type in some new text. And I can move that around on the screen just by clicking and dragging. And I can also animate this. So I'm going to have this as the start position, and then that be the end position. And if I want to preview what that looks like, there it is. Everyone has a story. It's animated. It moves. I'm going to click Done. And now I'm going to do a second background, and I'm going to click on See All one more time. And this time I'm going to come down to this one, which I kind of like, and I'm going to drag that over to the right side of where the first one is. And as you remember, I can change the view here in the timeline by clicking on this little slider or use the plus and minus options to make this a little bigger anyway, or smaller. So you can see that now I have this first one, and now I have this second background, but I don't have any text in front of that. So I'm going to go back to text. I'm going to click back on sample. I'm going to drag this down to here, and I'm going to change this text to and now I'm going to animate this as well, but this time instead of starting small and having it be large, I'm going to have it start large and get even larger. So when I click on animation, that's going to be my start position, and then for my end position, I'm going to scale that up even larger. And then I'm going to click Done. And now I see that my text goes a little bit longer than my animation background. So I'm going to pull that out like that. And I also see that same thing with this one. So I'm going to pull that out just a little longer. And we're just going to preview this now to see what it's like. So it begins with everyone has a story. It's kind of slow, so I might want to trim that a little bit, and then it fades into here's my story, And so what I might do here is change both of these. I'll click on this one first, and I'll bring that back to about 4 seconds. And then I'll click on the background and trim that as well. And then I'm going to move these over so that they're right up against it. And then I'm going to change this one also to about 4 seconds or so. And then I'm going to go back to the beginning and preview the entire thing. Everyone has a story. And here is my story. And the other thing I could do is I could come over to transitions and pick a transition between these two, and I'll click on this one, burn, and drop it down between both tracks. Now you can see that that's not exactly lined up, so I might want to finagle those a little bit so that they're in line. And now if I go back to the beginning and preview that, everyone has a story. And then here's my story with a little bit of a fade. Now, I also noticed that what happened is I didn't have those match up, so I'll pull that in a little bit one more time just to make sure that they match. So that's kind of an interesting way to begin a digital story with some animated text and an animated background that will engage your viewers. So give this a try and see how it works for you.